Hello, Divine Feminine. It is Sunday. It is a beautiful day where I'm at. The weather seems to be warming up a little. Hopefully it is a beautiful day in your part of the world as well. We're going to take a look into the karmic situation for your Divine Masculine today and just kind of see a little bit about what's going on in that area, as well as their focus on you. So we can kind of just do a temperature check of what our Divine Masculine might be thinking and feeling as far as the karmic and you and that triangle. So Sundays are the day where we kind of look at, since most of you have Divine Masculines that do have a karmic partner, some kind of a karmic partner. Now, karmic partners can come in at different times. Some of your Divine Masculines may have more than one karmic, right? During the span of, the runner-chaser phase. Sometimes they're dating multiple people. Sometimes when you meet, they seem to be single. And then after they run, they start dating other people. That was mentioned not too long ago, which with all of the twin flames that I've worked with, that's absolutely 100% a possibility. There is no set way that this journey plays out for anyone. It's different for everyone. And so, there's an infinite possibility of ways that it can happen, but I promise you the way that it's happening for you is 100% the way that it's meant to happen for you. It's not going to look like anyone else's. There's going to be different ways that it manifests. Your Divine Masculine is going to act differently than maybe somebody else's Divine Masculine. It doesn't actually matter, because the same, I guess, universal laws apply regardless of how your Divine Masculine is acting and whatever the 3D situation is. So the 3D situation is going to be, there's going to be a million variables, and it's never going to match anyone else's. However, what you apply throughout this journey is basically the same set of principles, which is a lot of what we talk about in our group calls, in our upcoming course that should be coming out soon, and also in our one-on-ones and stuff. So, and we are going to have some lives that are going to be starting again this Thursday. So hopefully you guys can tune into our upcoming live this Thursday, and we can answer some questions for you there as well. But we're going to get into this reading today. So this first card is how your Divine Masculine is feeling toward you. Okay. This is their outlook or perspective toward you. We're going to start out with that. So for this, we have the moon. So there's some unseen perspectives or what they might view as problems in your relationship. A lot of this has to do with perspective and how, the filter that they see the events through. So the events that have transpired between you and your Divine Masculine are the same for both of you, but how each one of you perceive, view, and interpret them is going to be centered around your own internal representations of how you view the world, why things happen, past experiences, traumas, fears, expectations. Those things are going to vary between you and your Divine Masculine. You may not see those events similarly. However, the event that itself is meant to be a reflection to both you and to your Divine Masculine of those internal representations, how you view the world. Okay, it reflects it back to you, depending on how you perceive it. And so there's some changes that your Divine Masculine has made in regards to how they're treating you, how they're treating the relationship. And this could be positive in some ways and perceived negatively in others. So take a look at what you see happening and then recognize that that is a reflection back to you of your own perspectives. And then kind of look at that and say, can I change that? Can I look at this through a different lens or filter? We don't have to actually know why our divine masculine does what they do. We spend a lot of time trying to figure out why our divine masculine does, says, and acts the way that they do. But truthfully, things change in the outer world when we understand why we do say and act the way we do. Then everything kind of shifts and changes. So try to reverse that focus off of why divine masculine does what they do and instead kind of turn that spotlight on you. And that is what your divine masculine is doing for themselves right now. And it could appear from an outside perspective as if they're somehow being selfish or self-centered. But in actuality, what it is they're being beckoned to kind of go within and like take a transformative look at themselves and that inner space of who they are. So this is a good thing, okay? Even if it can appear like separation or running, really it's about them leveling up. And sometimes space is needed in order for that to happen. But this is a positive card. This is about them learning to trust their judgment, their intuition, and to follow that inner light, right? The moon is a representation of the feminine, right? The feminine energy, the qualities of the feminine energy are, likened to the moon. It's reflective. It's an inner kind of journey. And so, the divine masculine is awakened in this journey just like you are, but it's going to look different for them, right? Because something opposite is being awakened in them than it is for you. And so you're not going to understand this at the level of the mind. This is something that needs to be, gone through and experienced intuitively. And that's what they're turning into or turning toward, is that intuitive aspect of themselves. They're really tuning into that. And this is really, really good. This is a good sign, okay? Even if it can appear like they're running or going through separation with you, this is a stage in their development that is a very necessary component to this journey. And this is why we have to have so much faith and trust in the journey itself, that we are being guided and that so is our divine masculine, to where we need to be, all right, for alignment to take place. All right, so this next card is the Karmic. Okay, this is the energy that your divine masculine and the perspective, outlook, all that stuff toward the Karmic. Okay, and for this we have the Hanged Man. So they are starting to have a different perspective toward the Karmic than they had prior to their own kind of unacknowledged awakening. Because sometimes the divine masculine doesn't really acknowledge or even understand that they are going through an awakening. It can feel to them more on a very 3D level, okay? There's transformation taking place, there is change happening, but they may not attribute it to and have that inner knowing that it's because of the higher self or because it's, a soul activation. They may not have that knowledge. Possibly they could, or maybe they'll get to a place where they will. But oftentimes we find that they don't. They don't experience the awakening in the same way that the divine feminine does, because you are far more consciously aware of the fact that you are going through an awakening than they are, at least in these stages of the journey. So they're gaining a different perspective of the karmic situation that they're in. And they may have started to realize through, some wisdom that has kind of started to surface within their psyche, that they've been maybe a little too self-sacrificing. Maybe they've been a little bit of a doormat. Maybe they've not, said how they really felt. Maybe they felt a need to kind of be a pleaser personality type, or, you know, try to appease those around them. These things can come from low self-worth, or just, you know, kind of how things were modeled for us as a child. And then our internal representations and perspectives of the world are shaped through those things. And then we start to act a certain way in relationships, almost robotic-like. So they're kind of waking up to the automatic reactions and responses that they have, and seeing them more through an inner, like there's like an inner revelation taking place, that maybe there's more to it than that, or maybe these are not necessarily the right ways to handle the situations as they kind of arise in life. So an internal transformation is taking place within your divine masculine right now at a pretty deep level. And it is having an effect on how they perceive this karmic relationship. Whether they're ready to leave it or not yet is going to vary for different divine masculines. And whether or not, you know, they're realizing that it's kind of more like an issue with the karmic or more an issue with themselves, they're kind of reducing that down to either way, regardless of how the karmic is acting. It's up to me to make proper decisions for myself, and to know who I am, and to kind of like stand on a firm foundation, and be able to create the life that I want. So a lot of the blame or the codependency between your divine masculine and their karmic is dissolving. And that is also a really, really good and positive sign that things are progressing on your journey with your divine masculine. Okay. So this next card is going to take a little look into and focus on the relationship with you and your divine masculine, and also with the karmic, kind of like that triangle that's going on right now between all of you. So let's take a look here. Interesting. We have Three of Swords here. So with the Three of Swords, we have, that's an interesting card to come up for like that triangular, like connecting thing. You know, this is like, it's almost like there's a sword for each one of you. It's kind of how I'm seeing that. And this is that there's a lot of heartbreak, that there could be potentially a divorce or a breakup, a feeling of loss. There's been a lot of depression. And then this card actually can like kind of point towards surgery, but sometimes it's not. Like it could be an actual physical surgery that is happening for either you, the divine masculine, or their karmic. Some type of an, you know, something that has needed to be like surgically completed on a physical sense. But I'm feeling that it's more maybe that something needs to be like surgically dealt with on an inner level, right? Like something needs to be either repaired, fixed, or removed surgically, as far as, and there needs to be like a precision to it, to a certain degree, of really like going within and understanding what is causing this split in energy for your divine masculine. Why they feel so torn between this like situation with you and the situation with the karmic. They're at a place where if they don't go within, like the universe is forcing this upon them, because if they don't, it's only going to become more and more painful. And so these are definitely matters of the heart. And as you can see, like it looks like she's being stabbed in the heart. And in some of our tarot cards, the Three of Swords is a heart with three swords in it. So these are like something needs to be surgically removed from the heart itself, which is like a something that isn't in alignment with that higher and highest version, or that highest and best version of the self. And your divine masculine is being forced to take a look at that and to figure out what it is within them that needs to be like fixed, right? And it's not so much that it needs to be fixed, because we're already whole and complete. So it's a denial of something. It's a falseness. It's an illusion. It's a fear that needs to be extracted and like surgically removed from your divine masculine's life experience. Okay, so this next card is the past. Maybe this card will give us a little insight into what that is that needs to be kind of removed from your divine masculine's experience and perceptions. For this, we have King of Coins in reverse. So there's been a lot of jealousy and a lack of follow through. This could be jealousy. So jealousy comes from fear, and jealousy comes from like a fear of a possibility, a fear of a potential loss, or a fear of betrayal. But it typically comes from betrayals that have taken place in our life prior to now, to the moment that we're in. And they really do burn a mark into our souls, it feels like, right? Not really. It's really truly within the human psyche, because again, the soul is whole and complete. But it definitely leaves a mark on us in a very deep and profound way that starts to affect us subconsciously in our day-to-day actions. And sometimes we're aware of it, and sometimes we're not, like how it's affecting us. And so there's a type of insecurity and jealousy within your divine masculine that needs to be looked at and addressed. And that probably has a lot to do with what's going on, with what needs to be removed. Is it's these fear-based energies that are causing your divine masculine to have a skewed perspective in life, which is causing them to have a inability to be able to follow through on decisions, because they're so full of self-doubt. They don't know if they should do this or if they should do that. It's like they're stuck in a loop of overanalyzation, and they don't know how to break it. And they see the logic here and they see the logic there. It's very like much a vacillating back and forth in duality for your divine masculine, on like, it seems like on many levels of life, like everything, they kind of have a little bit of insecurity, which might make them reach out sometimes and ask for help to other people that may actually only confuse them more, because they are seeking outside of themselves rather than going in. And that is what the journey is trying to urge them to do, is to seek those answers within themselves and follow that intuitive internal compass. So that's something that your divine masculine is really going to need to tune into and hone into, or they're going to continue to feel a level of suffering that suffering is really guiding them to that intuitive force within them that has come again from the awakening with you, divine feminine. Okay, so this last card is the future. Okay, where might this take your divine masculine? Where might this go? For this, we have 6 of coins. This might go in a direction of like like them being able to learn how to help themselves. There could be some people that kind of show up like almost like angels in your divine masculine's life, very synchronistically, that give them like kind of like nudges and urges in a certain direction. You know, it's those, we experience that a lot, divine feminine, where people, books, you know, information, videos just kind of show up in our lives super synchronistically to like give us direction. And your divine masculine is going to experience that in the near future, that will help them to kind of navigate their way through this transformational process of letting go of something that isn't serving them well, in order to be more in alignment with their authentic self. And so that's going to open up sort of like both like centers of the heart, the giving and the receiving. Because sometimes we can be givers, which it seems like your divine masculine through this reading is kind of a giver, but we can have our ability to be able to receive to be kind of blocked, right? And we would oftentimes call people like that empaths. And then we could also be that are the receiving part of us is more open, while the giving side of us is blocked. So we could say that's a little bit more like on the narcissistic sense, like scale, right? We all have empathy and narcissism. These are dualistic human aspects. But through life's experiences and internal representations, modeling through childhood and things like that, we can sometimes lean more one way or the other. And when we're not balanced in that, because empathy is our ability to empathize with others. Narcissism is kind of our ability to be able to empathize with ourself, right? There's selflessness and then selfishness. And we have to have a little bit of both, right? We can't be so selfless that we allow ourselves to have, that we don't love ourselves enough to take care of ourselves and put ourselves, you know, out of harm's way. But we can be so, we can end up like not worrying about how other people feel and put other people in harm's way in order to take care of ourselves. Do you kind of see what I'm saying with that? So, you know, your giving and receiving receptors, which is the positive and negative flow of energy, need to be open both ways. So you can get like a nice, you know, eternal balanced loop of energy in those ways. You know, again, these, whether we lean too far into the empathetic side or into the narcissistic side of things, it all kind of comes from trauma. Like if there's an imbalance, because we talk about empaths like that's good and that narcissism is bad, but the truth is that there's toxic empathy and healthy empathy, balanced empathy, and then there's toxic narcissism and balanced narcissism. Okay, it's when they become imbalanced that they can be a problem. Like somebody who's a toxic empath would be somebody who's a total doormat and never sticks up for themselves and never tunes into their authentic self because they're too busy trying to find validation through helping others, right? And if we break that down, there's actually a selfishness in that, because we're hoping that by helping others, that they'll validate us and make us feel worthy. So we're actually seeking something from it. It's not as selfless as it appears to be on the surface, right? And sometimes with, you know, narcissism, it's the same kind of thing. So it needs to be balanced, and it looks like through this guidance, by tuning into that internal self, by taking a look at like why the heart is not balanced, by looking at the lessons from this karmic situation, and then by kind of figuring out like why these particulars in their life are the way they are, like why they see things the way they do. It's going to lead your divine masculine to a place of clarity and balance and harmony, which is what this journey is meant to do for them. Okay, and that is just kind of a look into like the divine masculine's energy. Now, remember, divine feminine, this is just a look at divine masculine, but we can't make this our journey. Okay, if we're making divine masculine the center of our journey, then we're not doing on our end what we're supposed to be doing, which is going within ourselves and looking at our own perceptions and patterns, and how we can kind of put ourselves first in that way and balance ourselves out and create inner union. Okay, because when inner union takes place, that's when you see outer union. You have to do that first. And if we're focused on divine masculine, when we're totally skipping the part that's the most important, which is why the divine masculine runs, you got to focus on yourself for a little while. And so the universe will keep giving you that space until you decide to take advantage of it and utilize it for your highest good. Okay. So we're going to take a quick look at an oracle card here for you. And hopefully this reading resonated with you and has brought you some of the clarity that you need. And because we can look at our divine masculine situation, but we have to look at how we're looking at it. Okay, you got to look at your perceptions of it, because again, you've got your own filters, your own programming, your own patterns, your own internal representations that need to be balanced out and made in alignment with that higher self. Okay, and that is all done through the heart. Okay, that's all through the heart. Your heart is the key. Your heart is the key for sure. And I think that you guys probably kind of know that at this point, that the heart is your center. The heart is the center of your chakra system. And, you are unlocking that. You are balancing those energies out. Greg Braden talks a lot about heart-brain coherence. Go listen to some of that. I think that if you haven't heard that stuff before, I think you'll find it to be quite interesting. And of course, we get, oh, you know what? I haven't done this yet. Oh, here's our card. And let me also do this at the same time. We have healing the heart. And we have 25 today, or 2 and 5, or 7. So we have, 52, 25, or 7, or 2 and 5. Okay, those are your numbers for today. And then we have healing the heart. Okay, what a perfect and beautiful card for this. This is my Oracle of the 7 energies. And how interesting is that as I'm talking about this, the heart being your center, I didn't even think about that, but I was saying that in your chakra system, your heart is your center. And this is actually the Oracle of the 7 energies, which I look at. And the 7 energies are those 7 heart, or the seven chakras that you have within you. These 7, energies are what need to be balanced. Really, you also have like 12 chakra system, but a lot of times we focus on what's in the body itself, in that part of the chakra system, and that part of the Taurus field. But there is more to that, and that's a whole nother subject that we do go into again with our group calls and our one-on-ones, and we've got some course stuff coming out that's going to go into that a lot. But the group calls, you guys, are so good. We go over so many topics, and please also don't forget to tune into our live that's coming up. We'll talk about some of these, esoteric, not, the esoteric wisdom that has kind of been lost to humanity, but is definitely resurfacing in this coming golden age that we're in. So, all right, let's get in here and read this, because I'm curious to see what it's going to say. This is so cool, you guys. Healing the heart. Healing, making amends, the willingness to release past pain, being responsible and accountable, taking time to get healthy, renewal and rebirth after suffering. When you are wounded emotionally, you need time to regroup and find your center. That's what this has done for your divine masculine. And your center is your heart, right? We talked about that. You may have recently endured a breakup or betrayal, lost someone close to you. We talked about that right here too. You may have recently endured a breakup or betrayal, lost someone close to you, or lost an affiliation that you gave too much power to. Perhaps you're watching someone go through a difficult time and feel bad that you can't help them. Maybe you're still not over a past disagreement. No matter the cause of this heartache, deep healing is called for. That's what this card is all about, you guys. Deep healing of the heart. Like we spoke about that, in normal tarot cards, the Three of Swords is the heart with three swords in it, and that your divine masculine has something within them that they need to let go of. It needs to be like kind of spiritually, surgically removed from the heart. No matter the cause of this heartache, deep healing is called for. This happens on its own timetable and can never be rushed. The path to healing the heart centers on reciprocity. Holy crap. The flow of giving and receiving. You guys, we just talked about that, of giving and receiving, when we were talking about this card right here, because I was talking about, having both of those centers open of giving and receiving, empathy, and the ability to be able to receive. If we are only receivers, then we're out of balance. And because we have fear of giving, right? Fear of being taken advantage of, fear of putting ourselves out there. That's how, narcissistic tendencies can become imbalanced. And then we also have fear of taking. So we become over givers, where we don't allow ourselves to receive at all. That's also an imbalance. So I can't even believe that this card came up. It's touching on all of it. The path to healing the heart centers on reciprocity, the flow of giving and receiving. Sometimes wounding occurs because we've become too dependent on another. Codependency. And this is accompanied by the desire to manipulate or control an outcome. Both wounding and healing usually begin within, not from the outer conditions of our lives. See, they have to go within again. We often believe we can be wounded by others, but we do more damage to ourselves in the self-sabotaging way we think and behave. This whole thing started out talking about perceptions. That's what this is all about, is perceptions and internal representations and modeling that have created patterns of how we view the world and the filters that we see events through. We don't see them with clarity. We see them through filters. And that's how we experience or believe life to be. But it's all mind, you guys. It's all mind. And if we want things to change in an outer level, we have to understand that it's as within, so without. Okay. Sorry I keep interrupting, but I just think this is so cool. Both wounding and healing usually begin within, not from the outer conditions of our lives. We often believe we can be wounded by others, but we do more damage to ourselves in the self-sabotaging way we think and behave. It is important to take steps to heal yourself and become willing to release the pain of the past, which can be tempting to revisit. How often do we do that, guys? We sit around reminiscing or ruminating on past experiences. And, Bruce Lipton talks a lot about this. Your mind cannot tell the difference between what is happening right now in the present moment versus spending your present moment thinking about a past event in the present moment. To your mind, it's all the same, whether you're experiencing it right now in the physical 3D or if you're experiencing it on the mental plane. By remembering it, it's as if it's happening again right now, and it's recreating damage. And we spend a lot of time doing this. And that's what fear and worry cause us to do. And that's what our awakening is begging us to let go of, is fear. And it's a process. It takes time. It's time to take responsibility for your part in this healing journey. Look for ways you can help yourself and others. Are you willing to make amends if needed, or conversely, accept someone where they are without trying to influence their growth process? Divine Feminine, that's for you. We cannot force or change or make our Divine Masculine be anything other than what they are meant to be. And it's about letting go and allowing them and trusting the journey to allow them to tap into that and go through their own journey. We have to trust that higher part of ourselves. That's the going within part. That's what this journey was designed and created for. That is the purpose of it, Divine Feminine. Healing the heart in all aspects is your priority now. Nothing else matters. Only beauty and goodness will come as the result. Make that your number one goal. Go within. Okay, tap in and tune into that part of yourself, divine feminine. I can guarantee you that when you do, you'll see that your divine masculine has also done so. And when you have that inner union, outer union takes place. Okay, now don't let your mind trip you up with what that's meant to look at, because that's part of the letting go process. We cannot, through the mind, decide what union is supposed to look like. So let go of all preconceived ideas of what union is and isn't supposed to be, and what it should and shouldn't look like, and instead give it over 100%, surrender, let go, and release, and just allow the universe to reveal it to you. I love you, divine feminine. I do feel that this reading was absolutely divinely inspired to help some of you guys with what is happening in your life, to be able to help you to let go and surrender to the beauty of this journey. Let it guide you, okay? And when you do, I think you'll see that your divine masculine will do the same. I love you guys. Let me know if you have questions or comments in the description box below. And I'll see you guys this coming week. We've got some more videos coming out this week too, so stay tuned for that. Oh yeah, please like and subscribe. If you're interested in one-on-ones, group calls, or tarot readings, we also have some discounts available right now, 35% off of one-on-ones and 45% off of tarot readings. It's the most I've ever done, and we are doing that because it is, Valentine's Day coming up. And so I really wanted to celebrate the beauty and the union of twin flames by honoring that with a deeper discount than we normally give. So if you're interested in that, go get the coupons in the description box below. And don't forget to tune in for our live on Thursday. I'll see you guys later. Love you all so much. Bye.